And then there's a gig, we were talking about Gregory Porter. He's playing the Royal Albert Hall on the 30th of October. He doesn't go on stage until like 10:30. So
oh, right, yeah.
We're all trying to get free hotel
You should.
accommodation. So Didier's first on the list.
Oh, yeah.
Didier, remember all those fantastic DJ sets we did for you?
Yeah, come on, man.
Where's that thing?
You know you got an empty room. Hook us up.
Right, that's good. And is Natural out now?
Natural is out now.
Okay.
So Natural is a preview track and the new single for Journey of a Woman. So Natural is sort of continuing the progress of the first album, and we're trying to, keep moving on that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, then. So we'll find out all about you.
Yes.
And don't worry about it. It's all editable, this. So
okay, good.
I know you're good at talking. I've heard you talking anyway.
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to introduce you to Rajdulari this morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Now, good to have you with us. You're going to do a session for us, and this is absolutely fantastic. So looking forward to, once again, using our offices as our own private jazz club. It's just so cool because we get to hear every little detail and record it for broadcast, so that's brilliant. Now, your background, New England? Is this right?
Yes, well, that's where I did most of my study, where I sort of, honed all my skills, and it was my good like breeding ground, if you will.
Yes.
But I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, and raised in Michigan, and I went to moved to Boston and went to high school there, and then went to Berklee College of Music there, and sang in a lot of bands, a lot of jazz, jazz fusion, world music bands.
Yeah.
So Boston is like a second home to me.
So, what did you find yourself listening to? Obviously, everything, but what were you drawn to the most?
I really love, Miles Davis. I love, Ornette Coleman. I love Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, obviously, Nina Simone. Jazz is something that it just gets in your blood. You can't stop listening to it. So
the thing I like about it is that you may well join, for instance, fusion jazz was the thing for me, and jazz funk, and then you think, well, I've got to know about this thing, so you go right back to the beginning, and then you learn.
That's right.
How it all came about, and it's fascinating as an art form, particularly because of the improvisational side of it. That's the thing that really gets me. You all right?
I had to sneeze.
Go on. Sneeze.
Okay, I think it's good. Yes, that's true. I really, I was talking to a young vocalist the other day, and she said, I do a lot of R&B and I do a lot of soul, but I don't know about jazz. Jazz seems like this beast that I've never, been able to conquer. And I think the beauty of jazz is, as long as you're not afraid to make a mistake, you can really have fun with it. You can really, jazz, it has so many colors to it. You can do fusion jazz, you can do jazz and hip-hop, you can do jazz and R&B soul. There's so many ways that it can expand and grow. So I really love this genre.
Somebody very famous said there are no mistakes in jazz.
That's right. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
That's brilliant. Okay, now, I believe you have a very good story to tell about going to New York. I don't know what it is. Can you tell me?
Okay, so I was in Boston, right? I'm in Boston for about 10 years, and I had been just about everybody else's vocalist and never really launched myself as a solo artist. And I was really thinking, when you're working with different ensemble leaders, everybody has their own goals and stuff like that. But I really had an idea of what I wanted to do. And I knew that I didn't want to do it in Boston because I needed to have a change. I needed to grow. So I was working a day job there, and, I cashed in my retirement. I took out all my savings. I sold all my furniture, and I moved to New York. And I literally just, I sublet an apartment for a few months and have just been trying to keep it going. And for 3 years, I've been able to really grow a solo career. So I'm super excited. It's been really well.
So it's almost like the song on Broadway, isn't it? Really?
That's right, yes.
You're turning up there without, you've thrown everything into it because you're going to make it.
You have to. That's the way you have to take on any sort of challenge, any sort of dream in your life. You have to do it full force.
Okay. We'll chat some more in a second, but we're going to do your single first of all, which is called Natural.
Yes.
We'll talk about, actually it's got a very powerful lyric, hasn't it, which is, be yourself.
That's right, that's right. The goal of Natural and any of the music I do is to empower and educate and uplift, and especially women of color and curvy girls. I think we have to continue to support and encourage ourselves. We have to embrace who we are without anything extra, just you in your natural state. So that's what the song is about.
Okay, in session at JazzFM, Rajdulari. Here we go. Brilliant. Very nice.
Thank you.
Come back for a second look.
Mm-hmm.
At JazzFM, we're talking to Rajdulari this week. We have a session for you as well. Stand by for another track in just a few moments' time. So we had a track called Natural earlier on, which was all about empowerment,
Yes.
Your natural self, particularly as a woman. Is it these issues that you're passionate about? Is this where you're getting your inspiration for all of your work?
Absolutely. I mean, being a woman in the music industry and being a female in the jazz industry especially is tough. It's challenging, and everyone wants to compare you to many different people. And at the end of the day, you really have to celebrate yourself. So I really try to find my own voice. I try to embrace my own individuality and the things that make me unique, and that's what sort of expresses itself in my music.
What are you making of the whole European scene? We were speaking earlier on about how some American jazz musicians are having to bring the art form which was created in their country to Europe and to other countries to make it. Gregory Porter is probably the most famous example of this, where 3 albums in, we absolutely love and adore him. He packs out everywhere. Back at home, he's only just had his first network debut on TV.
That's right. I think, I'm not sure exactly what it's about, but I do think that as a musician, you have to diversify. You can't just sit in your hometown and in your neighborhood and make music and say, oh, one day somebody's going to come along and somebody's going to be in the audience and they're going to give me an opportunity. No, you have to seek the opportunity. You have to go and make the opportunity
Because that's
happen.
what we read about, all about the jazz greats, isn't it? They were playing in some ensemble, somebody comes along and goes, wow, they're really good.
Exactly.
And they get taken off, they make a record and they're famous. Well, times are different now.
They sure are. And my manager and I were talking when we first thought about coming here. We literally just said back in January, we're going to buy the tickets. We're just going to buy the plane tickets. At least we'll have that. And then we'll get here. And in this time, this was 9 months ago. And we said, we'll try to connect with folks and see what happens. And over time, as people have been responding to Natural and as people respond to Honey Wine, and we connected with JazzFM, so much has happened that by the time we got to London, we had a specific itinerary in place to sort of launch the career and, take it to the next level. Wow. So you really have to almost have to set the date first and then watch everything else unfold.
That sounds great. And you come in with the right attitude. It becomes reality. Yeah. Have you been elsewhere apart from the UK, elsewhere in Europe?
I was in Italy years ago. I was in Treviso. I did a recording project there a long time ago, but I haven't really tapped into Europe at all. Okay. So
because
really looking forward
Italy,
to it.
for instance, really vibrant jazz scene with people like Nicola Conte,
Yes.
who may well hear your voice and go, I'm going to do some real thing with that.
Exactly.
Or you might even remix one of your tunes.
That would be the goal. That's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to try to do some remixes.
And similarly with the French, they just have a history of contribution to the whole jazz scene.
Yeah.
So who knows? They may well be adoring you over there as well.
It's a universal language. Music is a universal language, and so is jazz. So there's so many people in different countries who love the music. So any chance we get to really embrace it and connect with other musicians, the better.
Okay, so we've already heard that what you've planned has become reality.
Yes.
So what's the next stage of reality then, Rajdulari?
Well, from here we're going to Paris. We're going to be at Cafe Universal. We're going to hang out with some folks there. And we're going to go to Amsterdam. And then, high on the heels of Natural, we're actually finishing the sophomore album, Journey of a Woman. So as soon as I get back in the States, we go into the studio, we finish the album, and I'm going to be releasing it in the first week in January. So for the new year, that'll be my Happy New Year celebration, the next album. Sounds
lovely. You make sure that you come back and see us again.
I do.
Can you introduce our next session track? Because this is gorgeous.
The next song that we're going to do is the title track off of my album, Honey Wine. It's about love. It's about positivity and feeling good. This is Honey Wine. Hope you enjoy.
Perfect.
Got it?
Yeah, that's good. Done that before. You're very, very slick. Professional.
Thank you.
Eva, I'm going to sneeze.
I know. I was like,
the microphone.
Hey, can we get a photo of you too?
You got to protect the microphone. You can't be doing all kinds of things.
Well, of course, it's like with us here. Say if Chris caught something,
yeah, you have to change it out. You have to
and then
change
I'm
it
going
out.
to get it. So
that's right.
I'm just going to save this file and then we'll get a photo.
Yeah, take your time.
I'm actually very conscious of who uses my microphone for that specific reason.
Yeah. Some of the presenters I've worked with, bring in their own headphones because they don't want their ears touching stuff that other people.
Yeah.
I'm not really that fussy. But,
no, I haven't gotten there yet. I know people who travel a lot and they get all phobic, but
I did have because I was in my family, I was the youngest. They were, and I had. So when I had kids of my own, when they caught the chickenpox, I'd never been exposed to it before. In my late 30s, I caught it. And I was working. Now us guys. If we don't work, we don't get paid.
That's right.
So I caught this, and it's so contagious.
Yeah.
I think they say if you're in a room with someone who's got it, you've got a 90% chance of catching it. You've not had it before, so it's hugely contagious. Anyway, I went to my doctor, and I said I can't afford to have the time off.
It's too late for me. I even ate one, which is a gross
guy
story.
Before you,
I never got
he
it.
apparently had it. So,
good. Okay.
So I was allowed to go in. And the show after me was automated. So what I have to do is go in, do the show, and then I had this spray, and I had to sort of spray the whole studio down.
Yeah.
And then I'd sneak off home.
Wow.
But I look like the Elephant Man.
Oh my gosh, yeah, chickenpox are horrible. I had them as a kid, thank goodness, but
at least you caught them in your 30s, and not later when it could turn into shingles.
Yeah, that's true. Did you have them, babe, when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's never had them. And she took care of all of us.
I don't even know how that happened.
I don't know.
How did she just, because, she has 7 kids.
Yeah, because in Jamaica, we don't get chickenpox.
Yeah. Americans have a lot of interesting ailments, if you will.
So my mom never had it. We never got it till we came here.
Wow. Yeah.
That's for taking too many vitamins.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what it is?
I don't do the flu shot and all that other kind of stuff. I feel like your body has to develop its own stuff.
Exactly.
And every year they say, the flu strain is worse, and they give you a new flu shot. I can't be bothered. I can't do all that.
I would agree with, if you're healthy and eat a decent diet, then natural is best.
Exactly.
I'm not one of these natural freaks, but why give yourself loads of drugs? When we weren't really designed to have all this stuff. We were just designed to
eat right.
I just try and stay away from processed foods and just have natural things. And, Where should we have this? Would you
I'll come over and
come and sit here.
And take a
Come and sit in
the portrait
wow,
studio.
this is like the whole. I'm not even going to
the
touch
whole
anything because I'm already nervous.
You can't do anything. So, do you mind?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful smiles.
Is that okay?
Cheese and whiskers.
Cheese and whiskers.
Awesome.
You got it?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nigel.
Not at all. You're very welcome.
You.
That was beautiful.
Thank you for the time, for the energy, for the recording, everything.
Do you know, it was my interesting, because I had this idea of bringing this to have a session out there, and people were quite sceptical about it, and then we did it, and suddenly everyone's become it's about like going with something that you're passionate about. But I remember the first thing that I really wanted to do as a school kid was be a record producer. I really wanted to do that because in listening to music, I just thought, what is it that makes that special? What's the thing? And sometimes it might be something as simple as a snare drum sound.
That's right.
Or sitting on the Dr. Bayos's rating isn't the same unless you got the whistle bit.
That's
right. It's the detail.
You have that ear.
And so it's just the thing with the ear. Yeah. So with a live mix, there's a limit to what you can do.
But also with a live performance like that, people really get a chance to see what the musician can do. And even though the internet is great and you got YouTube and you got all this stuff, having these sort of clips of a live performance, I feel like kind of further cements it or whatever. Like you were saying, you hadn't heard how I sounded before until you hear it live. Or I think Chris was saying it. But, it makes all the difference in the world.
I think there's a real connection in those sessions as well, because that's it. So you're performing to it, and so that this is going down.
Right.
So I really hope you like what we've done with the mix. I'll make sure, I'll just master it a bit, and then we'll get it emailed.
Perfect.
Okay, no problem. And let us know when you're going to put it out too, so we can start to promote and do all that
of course, definitely.
So thank you.
That's great. No, at all. You're welcome.
Awesome.
We're taking up all you guys' time over here.
You're outstage. You're welcome.
We're just gonna hang. We're just gonna hang in JazzFM.
Oh man, out in the
Absolutely,
street.
no.
I'm just going to go and pull a few cables.
No, but thank you.
Appreciate it. You're welcome.
Definitely.
Thank you again. One more. Thank you so much.
I always like hugs.
Yes,
Aww.
hugs are good.
Yeah.